Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lama, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, December 7th through Sunday, December 13th, 2015. So we're approaching the holiday season, and we have a new moon this week, which we're going to talk about when we talk about the astrological transits. But let's start by showing you what your stones of choice are going to be for your special message card this week. By the way, we are using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck for the main message. And for your special message card this week, we are going to use Doreen Virtue's Mermaids and Dolphins cards. I was told by my guides and angels that we needed to kind of uplift the energies a little bit here. We've had a lot of energies in the past few days that have been a little bit chaotic, confusing, and maybe a little heavy. And I feel like the mermaids and dolphins are going to help maybe uplift our spirits a little bit with some messages this week. So let's look at your stones of choice so you can think about that while we're talking about the astrological transits for the week. The first stone of choice is an orange calcite pyramid. And the orange calcite is obviously the color orange, which relates to the sacral chakra, which is your creative self-expression. Now, calcite and orange calcite specifically can help with aligning all the lower chakras, so the base, the sacral, and the solar plexus chakra, and it's especially helpful when dealing with anxiety or fear, doubts, depression, things like that. So it can help to cleanse those lower chakras of some of those lower vibrating emotional energies. Your second stone of choice for this week is howlite. And now howlite comes in different colors, and this particular howlite is a white color with some gray inclusions. And howlite, well, with the color of this particular howlite, we're talking about the crown chakra opening up to higher spiritual wisdom. And howlite in general actually does help to open up to higher spiritual dimensions, and it helps you to get in touch with past lives and even the in-between light state. And I was kind of intuitively guided to choose this particular howlite because of the gray inclusions in the white. And Spirit told me that those gray inclusions kind of stand for or symbolize those past lives where we're doing a lot of healing, some cleansing and purging of some old past life energies or circumstances or karmic patterns. And then your third stone of choice for this week is rose quartz. This is a rose quartz egg. And rose quartz vibrates to the heart chakra. It's all about unconditional love and peace and harmony. It can help with matters of the heart and relationships, and especially good for issues of self-worth and learning how to love yourself and nurture yourself and be kind to yourself. So again, your stones of choice are orange calcite. This is a pyramid. And this is howlite for your second stone of choice. This is a cabochon. And then the third stone of choice is the rose quartz egg. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the astrology for the week. Now, we start out with the sun in Sagittarius, and it's going to be in a positive aspect to Uranus and Aries on Tuesday, the 8th of December. This is actually a very positive, uplifting kind of aspect. Uranus is all about freedom, and it's about a change. It's about redirecting our energy, and especially while it's been in Aries, it's definitely about following your own path, you know, kind of being a little bit of a rebel, being independent and following your own path. With the sun connecting with that in a positive way in Sagittarius, again, Sagittarius is a freedom-oriented sign, just as Uranus is a freedom-oriented planet. So we have a lot of energies of freedom and breaking free and independence and doing your own thing. And Sagittarius is particularly optimistic with its energies. So I feel like this is going to be a really good day. We're going to feel uplifted. We're going to feel more energetic. Again, we're going to want to break free of certain things that may have been limiting us, whether they be circumstances and situations in our lives, or whether this is about our own thoughts or belief systems. We're going to want to break out of that and really kind of grasp that sense of freedom. As we move into Wednesday the 9th, the planet Mercury, which rules thoughts and logic and our way we think, or the way we communicate as well. It's definitely about communication. It's moving out of the sign of Sagittarius. It's going to be moving into the sign of Capricorn on that day. And the interesting thing is that usually Mercury moves pretty fast through the signs, but Mercury is actually going to go retrograde in January 2016. And it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn. So what happens is here, it's moving into Capricorn on Wednesday, the 9th of December. It stays there until January 2nd, where it moves into the sign of Aquarius, but only for a couple of days because it slows down and goes retrograde at 1 degree of Aquarius in early January. And then it retrogrades all the way back into Capricorn and stays in Capricorn until February 14th. When it finally moves into Aquarius for good. So we're going to have a long time period here with that planet, Mercury, which again rules communication and our thinking, our ideas, our thought processes. Capricorn is about goals and our ambitions. It's about career, and it rules the top of the astrology chart, which is about our destiny path. So we're going to have an extra long time to focus on what our goals are, to also redo, as Mercury will go retrograde in January. We're going to have that time to kind of redo our direction or redo our plans to push towards our goals. So, you know, as we're working on what our path is all about or what our plans are all about, we might have to, in January when it goes retrograde, kind of redirect a little bit. But that's good because it's giving us all that time while it's in Capricorn to really focus on where do we want to go in life? What do we want to do next? What are our plans for the future? And to come up with good ideas to follow through on whatever those plans are. It's good for focus too. Capricorn is a really grounding, focused kind of sign, and it works hard to accomplish what it desires to accomplish. So that's also going to be another good thing, even though it will go retrograde in that sign. On Thursday the 10th, we have the planet Mars, which is in the sign of Libra. Now, Mars is about action. It's about our energy, our physical energy. It's about movement forward. And it is in the sign of Libra, which is the sign of relationships and partnerships and balance and harmony. And it's going to be in opposition to, again, Uranus. Here we go with Uranus again this week, Uranus and Aries. So, again, Uranus is about freedom and breaking free and sudden and unexpected things occurring. And here we have Mars and Libra opposing that. Now, on the same day, we have Venus, the planet of relationships, and it is now in Scorpio, and it's going to be in a positive trine aspect to Neptune, which is very much about compassion and unconditional love, and is a very spiritual planet. So between these two things occurring on Thursday, we're going to have an energy, I feel like, that deals with relationship matters, and it's going to be interesting because Venus trine Neptune is very much it's an energy to where we sometimes can wear rose-colored glasses and, oh, we're so in love and everything's beautiful. But Mars and Libra opposing Uranus and Aries sometimes wants to break free and go off in a different direction. So it's almost two opposing energies. So it's going to be interesting to see what occurs on that day in regards to relationships. Now remember, this isn't just romantic relationships, but this can be other types of relationships too, probably relationships that we feel especially an emotional connection to, you know, a one-on-one relationship with family or friends or our loved ones, those significant romantic partnerships. And, you know, again, there's this kind of push-pull energy between merging and freedom, so we'll see what happens. Then on Friday, the 11th, We have a new moon in Sagittarius. This is wonderful. So new moons are about new beginnings. Sagittarius is very optimistic and positive, and it's kind of an energy that looks towards the future. You know, what's the big picture of the future? What are we moving towards? And the interesting thing is that this new moon actually is in a square, which is a challenging aspect to Jupiter, which is in Virgo. Now, Jupiter in Virgo, I feel like is it's a little bit of a challenge because Jupiter wants to expand and see the big picture. Jupiter is actually the ruling planet of Sagittarius, which is where this new moon is at. But it's in the sign of Virgo, which is very much looking at small details and taking small steps and analyzing and being analytical and logical about things. So this new moon wants to be positive and optimistic and expanding, and it's in that challenging aspect to Jupiter, but I still feel it's positive, but I feel like we're needing to expand our ideas or perspectives in a different way. We're needing to look at things from a different vantage point. We're needing to take some small steps and feel okay about taking those small steps towards these larger goals, and just know that we will get to that larger goal if we just kind of rein in our energies and prioritize a little bit. And then on Sunday the 13th, we have the moon is in Capricorn that day, and it ends up coming together, or what we call a conjunction. It comes into a conjunction energy with Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth and transformation and huge changes. It then goes on to make a square aspect or a challenging aspect to Uranus. So here we have Uranus again. And then another challenging aspect to Mars, which, remember, just a couple of days before, or a few days before on Thursday, Uranus and Mars was opposing each other. So it's still in that opposition kind of state, even though it's pulling away and separating. But the moon here coming together and connecting with Pluto and Uranus and Mars, I actually feel like this can be good. I feel like sometimes when good things happen, it feels challenging while we're going through it. And this is one of those instances where when we have those square transits, it actually poses a challenge. But challenges force us to make changes, and it forces us to move, and when sometimes we're too sedentary. So here we have the moon in Capricorn, which is again about our goals, our ambitions, the steps we want to take, the goals, the path we want to follow, and the goals we want to reach. And I feel like this can be a weekend, since this happens on Sunday, this can be a weekend that really challenges us to expand ourselves. And there's going to be a lot of transformation and change here and redirection, both I feel in business and our careers and our life path goals, but also perhaps in relationships because of Mars with Libra there. There might be, again, a lot of transition energies happening. So let's go ahead and take a look at the message from the angels through the Angel Tarot deck. And I did go ahead and I pulled 3 cards and was guided to pull a 4th card to kind of put all the energies together. So here's the first card for this week, and we have the Knight of Earth. And the Knight of Earth says loyal, dedicated, honorable, kind. And at the bottom here it says, time to buckle down and get things done, honor your commitments, and a guardian angel. So this is one of those cards, a court card, that often signifies either energies within us, personality traits within us, or it can signify other people in our lives. And in this case, and it could be both, of course, but I feel like this is more to do with energies within us, energies that we're emanating this particular week. Now, the Earth suit is all about career and goals and things of the physical realm, money, finances, things that we can tangibly see and deal with. The Knight energy is an energy of, it's a young energy. And what I mean by that is when we start out with the court cards, we have the Page, which is kind of a childlike energy, so it's kind of like the birth of something. The Knight of energy progresses into more like adolescent stage. And then we have the Queen, which is more of that motherly, mature energy. And then we have the King, which is the most mature energy. So with the Knight of Earth, what I feel is that this is about things that we have been working on in our career, with our life path, things that we've been planning and doing regarding money and finances, and perhaps trying to bring in a little bit more in the money realm or the finance realm as far as our career. So this is sort of about the goals and ambitions that we were talking about. It really reminds me of the Mercury going into Capricorn. And I feel like this is about things that we have been working on or planning in our mind. Maybe we've taken some steps towards those plans, maybe we haven't yet. But this is kind of moving forward with either taking some steps with those plans and ideas, with our, again, our career path, our destiny path in general, and it can include relationship matters too. But remember, these are energies of a practical, down-to-earth, grounded nature. But this is continued movement. You know, it's not to the mature stage yet like the King would be. It's not to that conclusion. But it's not that page energy where it's just the starting of something. This is kind of like, you know, the Knight is further into the progression of whatever these ideas are. And this says to be committed. And, you know, with this card saying to be committed, it again reminds me of Mercury and Capricorn, to where we're needing to put a little bit of energy or thought towards what those goals and what our plans are. Whether we take an actual step or whether we make a list of maybe what the next steps need to be very soon. Either way, this is, to me, dealing with energies of progressive movement. And also, too, it says honor your commitments. And so if there's, you know, any plans that you've made with other people, whether it be business or family or friendship oriented, this is saying that you must, you know, honor that you have to stay true to that. And I feel like, to me, honoring commitments is being a sincere and honorable person of integrity. And so this is the energy of the week also, is to stay in your place of integrity. Stay in that place of being honorable, both to others but also to yourself. Let's take a look at the second card for the week. Okay, so we have the World card with Archangel Michael. Okay, great card. And it says, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path towards enlightenment. And often when we see the World card, this is about an energy of conclusion so that a new energy cycle can start. And this really signifies, interestingly enough, the new moon that we have on Friday the 11th. Now, before we have the new moon on Friday the 11th, that means the moon is in its waning stage, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller until it disappears. That's about the ending of a cycle. That's what the World card is. And so early on in the week, Monday through Friday before the new moon, this is about releasing and letting go of energies and situations and circumstances. It's about releasing mindsets and belief systems, or maybe even emotions and feelings regarding certain relationships or circumstances that we no longer need to hold on to. So I feel like there's a cleansing and a purging here that's taking place earlier in the week before we have that new moon on Friday. We're gearing up for a new cycle. Archangel Michael is here protecting us, guiding us into that new cycle of energy, and it's a good movement of energy. Whenever we have the World card, this is about a good, positive conclusion of something old so that we can move into a fresh start and a new beginning. Let's go ahead and take a look at the third card. So here we have that Five of Fire. Now, the Five of Fire actually says competing goals, bothersome details, and conflict with others. So, you know, each one of these cards to me signifies an astrological thing that's going on this week, because remember on Sunday, the 13th, and you might even feel this even starting on Saturday at some point, but that's when the moon is in Capricorn and it's starting to come together with Pluto and challenge Uranus and then Mars. And that's kind of what this is about. This is about a little bit of chaos or conflict with the energies around us. It could be with people, with other people, just like it says, but it also could just be within ourselves. And whenever we have, you know, the moon with Pluto, it can be about an emotional transformation that we're going through, and that emotional transformation sometimes stirs up old emotions and old feelings, even old circumstances of the past, old karmic patterns that we've been holding on to, and that's where some of this conflicting energy, chaotic energy might come into play. So let's take a look at the fourth card to kind of put it all together and see what kind of how we can kind of look at it in conclusion. Okay, we have the Queen of Earth. And here's another Earth card. Remember, we had the Knight of Earth to begin this week out, or this reading out. The Queen of Earth says thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. The message at the bottom says make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So this is where I feel like it kind of follows in the heels of this Five of Fire. You know, this is where towards the end of the week we might feel a little chaotic or ungrounded. There's some challenges that we're dealing with in some way. And the Queen of Earth is saying to stay grounded in yourself, to stay in that motherly energy, which is the Queen, that motherly, nurturing energy, but practical, okay? This isn't a motherly energy that's overly emotional. That's more the Queen of Water. The Queen of Earth is motherly and practical and grounded. So she's going to help us to kind of deal with some of the conflict this particular week. She's going to help us with releasing that old energy that needs to come to conclusion and moving into a new cycle. She's going to help us in honoring our commitments and taking steps forward in a practical way that's going to help move us towards our goals, whatever our goals might be. And again, not just career goals, but goals for ourselves, for our evolution, for our growth, for our healing, for our relationships with other people. So the Queen of Earth is about staying balanced and steadfast. And again, showing that nurturing not only to yourself, that self-respect towards yourself, but also to other people. So let's take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. So the first stone of choice was the orange calcite. And we're going to give the Mermaids and Dolphins card a little bit of a shuffle here. And we're going to call in our angels and guides, call in the Ascended Masters. And for the orange calcite people, it says pay attention. Pay attention, notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. So whatever's going on this week, you need to connect with your higher soul self. You need to connect with your guides and angels. I want to say meditation. I want to say with connecting with nature is also a good way to receive those messages. This particular card actually shows a mermaid and a dolphin. So I feel like especially the element that you should connect with this week is water. So whether this is getting out by a river or a lake or a stream, or whether it's taking a bath and just kind of soaking and relaxing and meditating, this can even be in the shower, okay? But I feel like those messages might become more clear to you and for you while you're in or around water, dealing with that water element. You could even do a meditation where you're visualizing a waterfall, or visualize that you're floating down a lake in a rowboat. You know, it can be anything that deals with that water element. And I feel like that's going to help to kind of bring in a more clear connection, if you will, a clear connection to whatever those messages are that your angels and guides are trying to give you this week as you move forward on your path. Okay, and so for those of you that chose the Howlite, okay, Howlite people, let's give this another little shuffle and see which card they want me to pick for Howlite. Howlite people, watch your thoughts, okay? Watch your thoughts. It's important to only think about what you desire and not what you fear. And that is so very true, and it's becoming more and more true as we move forward in this time, in this age. It seems like time is moving faster. It's also seeming like we are manifesting things at a quicker pace. You know, all we're doing is thinking about, and especially if you put emotions to what you're thinking about, you're going to manifest it. And this can be positive manifestations as well as not so positive manifestations. So if you're in a negative place mentally and then you're feeling anxious or despair or anger, you're going to manifest really quickly some things that are maybe not so great in your life, and it's going to be like a spiraling down. And this is why it's so important to watch your thoughts during, especially this week, but always. Watch your thoughts, because if you can keep them positive, and when you find yourself maybe thinking negative or not so positive or having those fears and doubts, catch yourself and change it around to a positive. Say something positive out loud. Write something positive on a piece of paper. Visualize something positive. Even if it seems difficult, really try to do that. And then kind of take a deep breath and put a sense of joy and happiness and unconditional love towards those positive thoughts, because this is what's going to help you to move forward and to create the positive. Remember that new moon is in that square aspect to Jupiter and Virgo, and Jupiter and Virgo can be a little bit tough. So focus more on that optimistic Sagittarius energy. They can really be kind of a happy-go-lucky kind of energy, the Sagittarius. So make sure that you're leaning towards that positive and not allowing yourself to be brought down into any self-critical or self-judgmental thinking. And then for those of you that chose the rose quartz egg, okay, let's go ahead and give this another little shuffle. I'm asking to be shown, okay, this one here, soulmate relationship. Okay, so this says new romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. Now, we did have some things with Mars and Libra this week. We had Mars opposing Uranus on Thursday, and then we had the moon squaring Mars on Sunday, excuse me. I was thinking back to Thursday, and one thing that I should have probably mentioned, that with that Venus also in a trine aspect to Neptune, is that this can also bring in a sudden and unexpected new relationship, I feel. And for those of you that chose the rose quartz egg, this indeed may look like what this is about. So this is a connection, a really important connection to a significant other. Now remember, a soulmate relationship isn't always romantic, but it is important, and it is of a spiritual basis. There's a connection there, a magnetism there. So this can be a new friend as well. This could be a new friend. It could be someone that you're working with that you just meet. But again, it could be a new romantic partner as well. So there's a magnetism and a connection, a knowingness that you've known each other before, that you've been with each other before, perhaps in a previous lifetime. And there's something very important about this relationship. So if you meet somebody new this week, know, and you feel a special connection with this person, know that there's something very important about this relationship. And the other thing about soulmate relationship is that this can also be about you connecting with your higher self as well, because that's a soulmate connection too, okay, as odd as that might sound. But connecting with your true energy, your unconditionally loving energy, your higher soul self energy, your eternal self, that is kind of the ultimate soulmate relationship, when we can connect with the truth of who we really are. So very positive energies this week. Pay attention, watch your thoughts, and wishing you all much love and life, and love and light, love and life, and love and light, and a happy new moon energy this week. So blessings to all of you. Thank you to all of you for watching, liking, commenting on my video, my Facebook posts. For those of you that sign up for readings and healings, if I can help you in that way, if you've thought about that in any way as far as getting a reading or a healing, I would love to be able to help you on a more personal basis to help you move forward on your path. So again, blessings to all and much love and light. Bye-bye.